It's the end of November and today we are about to embark on a cycle tour. Yep, that's right, a cycle tour in last week of November in Britain, where it is about 7 degrees and the temperature is dropping. I think in a couple of days' time the temperature is forecast to be like 2 degrees or something. It is bitingly cold. I've never actually cycle toured in November before, or in winter at all, because why would you? So this is a bit of a new one for me. We are going because we have annual leave to use up, and it's just that time of year where I didn't want to spend loads of money going, you know, getting on a plane, going somewhere, and everything that that entails. So it seemed like a much better idea to just stay pretty local. We're going to North Devon, which is the county I already live in, but it's just a different part of it, and the county that I live in is really, really big. As it's winter, I've planned this as a very relaxed cycle tour. So I've planned it to be about 45 to 55 kilometers a day. So we're talking like, I don't even know what that is, maybe like 35 miles a day, that kind of thing. And that is because there are limited daylight hours, obviously, but also like neither of us have been cycling that much recently. It's kind of off season, even though I am training for a trail running race, but that's a different kind of thing. And I've just been busy with other things. I don't really want to go on a challenging, I mean, this is all my cycle tours really, are pretty relaxing affairs, but I didn't want this to be super challenging. I want it to be quite relaxing. The road is so steep, I could barely even push my bike, let alone ride it. I want to be able to get up at a pretty relaxed time in the morning, eat some breakfast, faff about, get on the bikes, go for a ride, arrive before dark, and dark is about 20 past 4. That, well, no, sunset is about 20 past 4. So it gets dark, you know, the light is starting to go. So that's what I've planned to do. We're cycling for 4 days. The last day is quite a short day, but some days are going to be quite tough, I think, on elevation. So one of the days is 1,200 meters of elevation, I think, but you know, we've got hours to do it in, it'll be fine. I've just come down the steepest hill I've ever been down in my life. We're not camping, we're not doing any of that. We're going to B&Bs / hotels every night. So we want to travel as light as possible, literally just take the clothes that we need and toiletries, whatever. We're starting off on something called the Tarka Trail. Well, kind of. We're starting off in like mid-North Devon. I don't know what that is, but we're then going to go to the beginning of the Tarka Trail, which is a disused railway track that has now turned into a walking and cycling path, traffic-free. We're going to follow that for the first day to Barnstable. Then we're going to go up over the downlands. Why are they called downlands when they're uphill? Someone answer me that, because it confuses me a lot, but not enough to look it up myself. We're going from Barnstable along the river, up the downlands, over the top to above Ilfracombe, which is a sort of fishing town on the north coast, really rugged north coast of Devon, and then going down into Linton / Lynmouth, which are like these twin villages, and they're in these like beautiful craggy cliff faces, absolutely stunning. The North Devon coastline sits opposite South Wales, so you can see across the Bristol Channel, across the water to Wales, which is really cool. And then we'll go from Linton Lynmouth across the southwest corner of Exmoor National Park, which is a massive upland moorland area, to a town called Dulverton, and then we'll cycle back to where we're leaving the car. So the whole thing is about 150 miles, I think. And sorry, I know I keep switching between miles and kilometres. Oh, that's just the way it is. And yeah, I'm really excited about it. I'm really excited to get going and just poodle about, really. So with that, I'm going to get ready. Luggage-wise, this is what I'm taking. That is an Ortlieb classic 20-litre pannier. My partner's got the other one of that pair. And then I'm also taking what is actually an Alpkit bike packing front pack. What's it even called? I'm taking that, but I'm not going to put it on the front of my bike. I'm going to put it I'm gonna bungee cord it to the rack of my bike, because where it sits on the front of my bike and my wheel, because my bike is so little, it just falls down and it rubs against the my front wheel, which has caused this. Look at this old station! So this is a traffic-free, very windy, traffic-free, disused railway line for miles. Day 2. Always check your bike rack bolts.
3, 2, 1.
Cycling over the hills north of Braunton. My god, it's hilly. It's very much like Dartmoor actually. Just really steep up and downs. Don't know if I can do this one-handed. Don't know how cold it is, maybe 5 degrees. Okay, I'm gonna have to put this down. I don't know how anyone can live here. It is so steep. It's so hilly. Just walked my bike up about 1 kilometre, like walked the whole way, because the road is so steep. Could barely even push my bike, let alone ride it. It's unbelievable. And the hill hasn't ended yet. Just taking this moment to cycle a little bit. Oh my god. Did just stop for lunch in Combe Martin though, which was really nice. But these hills are absolutely crazy. They're not zigzaggy. They're just straight up. And it's so steep. Even coming into Combe Martin actually, the descent was so insane that I had to have a break on the descent, like twice on the descent. It was so long and so steep. My shoulders just couldn't stay in that position. I couldn't stay gripping the brake pedals, what? Brake levers. Like, it was so painful. And oh my god. Like, I live in a steep place, short, punchy, steep climbs. Some of them are long. I've got a Tour of Britain climb outside my house. But it's rideable. Takes bloody ages, but it's rideable. This isn't rideable. So I wouldn't even want to drive some of these roads. It's crazy. We've walked from down there. But since I'm walking, let's have a chat about clothing. So this is a weird cycle tour. It's in the end of November, literally November's last week. It's December in 2 days, I don't know. Yesterday was 11 degrees, today is about 7 I think now. We set off and it was about 3. Tomorrow's supposed to be colder, so maybe not above 3 all day. I'm wearing winter thermal bib tights with a pair of just ordinary sort of thick tights, like not cycling tights, just regular women's tights over the top of those. I've got some just thick socks on. I'm wearing my running shoes because this is very hilly and my front wheel overlaps my toes if I'm in SPD, so I'm not wearing road bike shoes. I'm wearing overshoes, which I just bought. They're DHB, bought them for like £12 or something, reduced from 35. So they're neoprene overshoes, which are amazing. And then on my top half, I'm obviously wearing my bib tights. And then I'm wearing a merino vest, a t-shirt, like a hemp merino something t-shirt, then a winter thermal long sleeve cycling jersey, and then this Castelli white windproof cycling jersey over the top of that. And then today I've got my thermal buff on, and my winter cycling gloves. And hopefully that is going to keep me warm tomorrow as well, when it gets even colder. It's really good because you've got front zips for all this stuff, so on the uphills you can sort of unzip a bit without delayering, and then on the downhills you can zip up because it's fucking freezing on the downhills. Oh my lord, when does this hill end? It doesn't end. It's not ending. We just had lunch at sea level and we're going up to, I think, 300 metres. I'm literally walking my bike up 300 metres. It's not even flat, but it feels so good to just be pedalling along this hilltop. How amazing is that? North Devon coastline and Wales across there. I've just come down the steepest hill I've ever been down in my life. I had to take 3 stops and I didn't even know I'd be able to stop. Like, I did not know that my brakes would be able to stop me because it's so steep. It's unbelievable. I've never experienced anything like it. My shoulders are killing me. I think I'm almost at the bottom of the last descent, the last big descent. And then it's one massive climb up, another like 300 metre hike, I think. And then we'll be at the top and then we can cycle. I don't even know anymore. I'm just so tired. This descent is ludicrous. We just walked up the most insane hill of my actual life. Must have taken, I don't know, half an hour or something. So steep. But now we're on the top of the last hill. I don't think we're really descending either. I think we're kind of staying quite high. But we are going down into the Valley of the Rocks, which does insinuate that it might be a valley. But apparently it's bloody beautiful. So I'm really excited. I don't know when it's coming. I guess the next 2 kilometres. Depends how steep it is descent-wise as to whether I'll be able to film it, but my GoPro is also about to die, typically, even though it hasn't actually walked up any massive hills carting its really heavy bike. Part-timer. Anyway, I'm excited. It's so cool! It's so beautiful. Another absolutely hair-raising descent. I paused there because I wasn't sure if hair-raising was the term. It's definitely the term. But look down there. The whole bike trip has been leading to this valley. It's really beautiful. So we made it. This is the end of day 2. Today was a really hard day because the hills were so steep, but it was really, really beautiful. And it was dry the whole day. It didn't rain at all. It was sunny a lot of the day as well. So we cycled from Barnstable along the flat cycle path along the river to Braunton. And then we went north from Braunton into the hills, up very steep hills, and over the downlands to sort of above Ilfracombe. And then we did some we went down to Combe Martin, which is a tiny little village with a beach, so down to sea level. And then we did 2 absolutely fucking massive hills where the downhills were as bad as the uphills, because we were walking the uphills for like a kilometre. They were so steep and so long, but then the downhills were just as steep and just as long, and like my shoulders just from holding the brakes were screaming at me, so I had to keep taking breaks from going downhill. And then you get to the bottom and honestly it was just like, oh, straight back up again, like no flat. It was really beautiful. And now we're in Linton, which is this little village on the cliff top near the Valley of the Rocks. And then down is the mouth of the river Lynn, I guess. So that's Lynmouth. So we're going to walk down the coast path tonight. It's like a little switchback path down the cliffs and go to a restaurant down in Lynmouth. And then I think the walk up is going to be pretty challenging, but you know, it's good. It's good to keep the legs moving. And then tomorrow we'll cycle south, eastish, uphill to the top of Exmoor. And then I think we'll stay pretty high across the southwest corner of Exmoor and then down to Dulverton to spend the night there. So it's another, I think it's only 42 kilometres tomorrow. It was only 47 kilometres today, but fucking hell, 1,200 metres of elevation absolutely kills you. It's not distance, it's elevation. The hilarious thing is that I said that this was going to be a physically relaxing holiday. It's not at all. It's absolutely beaten me, but I haven't really been cycling that much recently. It's tough, but we're finished by 4:45 every day because that's when it gets dark. So it's quite a compressed day, really. Cycling for 4 hours today, I think, and then we had an hour for lunch. So, you know, it's manageable. Now we can have a nice relaxing evening. My Garmin watch says I'm overreaching and that I need 96 hours of recovery. And I've got another 2 days left of this, so we'll see how that goes. That was a 25% hill we just came down. So 1 kilometre out, less than that, half a kilometre, down a massive hill that I can't cycle up. Turns out the road is closed. So we'd have to either take a huge detour inland, or we're going to try pushing our bikes up a footpath for a little bit until we can get back onto the road further up where it's not closed. Some builders told us that, so we'll see how it goes. We're pushing our bikes up a zigzag footpath from the river to the road, which is hopefully now open up here. Back on the road, car free because it's closed. So hopefully this is going to work out well. It's really, really beautiful. It's so nice. Cycled up the heady heights of Exmoor on a rideable hill. Long, steep, but rideable. So this is now the open moorland of Exmoor National Park, which is quite similar to Dartmoor, where I live. It's high, it's very exposed. There aren't that many trees except in the hollows. There's lots of endemic ponies that live here called Exmoor ponies. Very hardy. Lots of sheep. They sort of just roam freely, so you'll just find them in the middle of the road, wandering around. It's super beautiful. The wind is biting, but it's quite, not a slog, but it's hard going, so I'm quite warm. Almost at Dulverton, where this day is ending, and I'm ever so thankful because it is fucking freezing. I'm so cold. My hands are cold, my feet are cold, my legs are cold, everything's cold. It's like 3 degrees or something, 2 degrees maybe. I'm very excited to get into the warm, eat something, and relax. Yay! Final day, it's 0 degrees, feels like -5. Literally wearing all of our clothes and we've got 39 kilometres to do. But the elevation's not too bad, it's about 550 metres, so, you know, hopefully there's no ice on the roads. That's what I'm really worried about. There was quite a lot of water yesterday, but might be okay today. Hasn't rained in a while. I'm already freezing. Pushing my bike out of Dolverton, where we stayed last night, up this massive hill that we came down last night. Oh my gosh, it's bitingly cold. But I'm wearing my bib tights. I'm wearing a pair of thermal leggings over the top of those, just ordinary thermal leggings. And then I'm wearing my pair of thick tights, non-cycling tights, just generic tights over the top of those. So I've got 3 layers on my legs. On my top half I'm wearing a merino vest, a thermal long sleeve top, not cycling, just from M&S. Amazing, heat gen, go seek them out. And then I'm wearing my winter long sleeve cycling jersey and my windproof Castelli cycling jersey, and then my OMM waterproof jacket for extra wind protection. Shit me, it's cold, although I'm glad I'm pushing my bike up this hill because it's generating a little bit of warmth at least. It's not that far to go today. I had a great vegan full English breakfast though at the Lion Inn Hotel in Dolverton. Highly recommend. Honestly, the breakfast was amazing. There's some fried courgette and aubergine in it too. Dream. Last giant hill until the end. So we made it back. We survived the incredibly cold temperatures and had a really nice time actually. What I would say is that cycling in the cold is fine as long as there's no ice around and as long as you're wearing enough clothes and your hands and feet are acceptable temperatures. I'd also say that cycle touring in winter is wicked if you stay in B&Bs and hotels because it's so quiet, towns are so quiet, the roads are so quiet, and it's so beautiful. We were really lucky to have sunshine and that really kind of crisp coldness. So it was kind of like what winters you dream about. I'd also say that when you are looking at the elevation gain, make sure it's not all in 3 hills over the course of the day and that it's much more spread out than that, because elevation gain is cumulative. And yes, perhaps I wouldn't have changed the route, I guess, if I'd thought about it more, but I would have been more mentally prepared for just how steep it was going to be because it was insane. I also want to reiterate, if you are cycling in compressed daylight hours and you don't want to be cycling at night because there's nothing to see at night, then do make sure you are not going to go very far. We were doing, like 45 kind of kilometers a day, and that was fine. Some days we were really brushing up against dark. I think one day we did actually arrive just after dark. So really do take into account your breaks, your lunch stops, just faffing about, whatever. Do not plan really long distance rides, especially if you're in hilly areas during the winter, because you're going to shoot yourself in the foot a bit there. But we had a really great time and I would definitely love to do these kinds of things again. Cycle tours in more local places where you don't have to go that far to even begin it, because when you're cycling, everything is cool, everything is new. So yeah, I hope this inspired you to go on a kind of local cycle tour wherever you are. If you're down here in Devon, then be prepared for those hills. Otherwise, wherever you are, there's going to be some pretty epic cycling routes around there. Thanks for watching and I will see you in the next one. Bye.